Hello there, it's the end of August and today's subject is novelty tomatoes. Now novelty is a scary word maybe as far as tomatoes go, but it really means just unusual coloring. The taste is pretty much like any other tomato. Novelty tomatoes come in many colors and many sizes, and with the amount of breeding going on these days, there's so many new kinds out there that we're always trying new ones every year. So today we have three in front of me here. This first one is called Green Zebra. This is relatively new, maybe 15 years now. It's green and yellow, as you can see, with a very attractive striping. And when it's not ripe, it's going to be green and white. So when it turns dark yellow like this, then we know it's ripe. The second one is Ananas Noir. This one is a Belgian variety from 2005. It's a two-tone that will show itself when we cut it open in a few minutes here. And lastly is one called Gin Fizz. This is the first time we've tried this one. And this is basically a yellow tomato with a red core and a red at the blossom end of the fruit, which you see here. So we're going to cut these open. Now this first one is going to look pretty much just green inside. So we'll cut it in half. And so you may think this isn't ripe when you serve it, but indeed it is. It's got a tangy flavor. You might say it's even more tomatoey than a red tomato. So it's tangy, not bizarre, not off-putting in any way, but it adds color. So I like to put this with some red tomatoes, and it creates a very good look for the table. This is a typical size for Green Zebra. The next one, Ananas Noir, is a beefsteak type. So it's really a beautiful tomato. This one is also on the tangy side, I would say. And this, when you slice this up, it always creates interest among your guests. So keep that in mind. It's a beautiful, beautiful tomato and very flavorful. And Gin Fizz here. There's that red core that we talked about, also extremely attractive. And you know, when you put that on the table, you can't help but want to discuss it with your guests. It's going to be the subject of conversation for at least a few minutes. Now this one over here is a little more, I don't want to say bland, but let's say it's a more of smooth flavor, not as tangy as the other varieties or even a red tomato. So it's a smoother flavor, and of course most people put maybe salt and pepper on tomatoes anyway, so that adds to the flavor. This one is slightly less acidic, but not really enough to talk about. It's slightly less acidic, but it's still higher acid than most foods by far. So in addition to these three, there are black tomatoes, and there are other color combinations, but they're all beautiful, and we think they deserve a chance in your garden.